Hiya, I'm Tova.
And I'm Racheli Marks, and together we connect through the stories we hear.
During our episodes, we hope to learn,
revolutionize,
inspire, transform, and bring relatable content to you.
We would like to also discuss and internalize how your story can be someone's savior. This is the official
Together We Connect
podcast. Hello everyone, it's Racheli Marks
and Tova.
And we are back for another episode, and we are so excited because we have two guests, not one, but two, that Tova found. I'm very excited about this. Do you want to tell us a little bit about our guest, Tova?
Okie dokie, so I've got the heebie-jeebies because I'm just really ecstatic. So I've got Mandy and Garreth here, which they were going to introduce themselves soon. But just the background, Mandy and I go back, I would say like tons of years ago, but once upon a time in I think 2022 through, I think common interests. And Mandy has become one of my coaches and really a huge role model in my life and mentor. So I'm very excited to introduce Mandy and her husband. We're going to hear a bit about their background today and what their new adventure is. And I hope you guys enjoy that too.
So excited. Without further ado, Mandy and Garreth.
I'm Garreth, Ewing. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm always happy to be on a call or a talk or a podcast or a workshop with my wife. So I'll give her the mic, and then I won't get it back from her.
Thank you so much for being here, both of you.
That's all you're going to hear from Garreth for this episode. So my name is Mandy Herold. I am Joburg born and bred. I am a teacher, and for a long time I worked in schools. I was the principal of the Ridge Foundation phase for 12 years, and then I decided that it was time for something different, and so I explored coaching and speaking as a profession. And maybe I should rewind a little bit and tell you that Garreth, nudge, wink, wink. I call Garreth I call him my current husband because I had a practice husband, and we made two beautiful children, and then we got divorced when Ryan was 3 and Robin was 1. And so I walked a journey as a single mom for a little while, and then I met Garreth 12 years ago on Tinder. Garreth on Tinder. We both swiped right, and we have a very loving, mutually respectful, fabulous relationship, and I'm very blessed.
That's beautiful.
You let me be me.
That's beautiful.
My background in high performance sport. Also spent a lot of time in schools, because when you work in an amateur sport, hockey like I did, you've got to pay the bills, and that's how these things work. And also around 7 years ago now, I started to explore what different looks like in terms of being skills adjacent to where I am now. Also progressed towards coaching via coaching, and we are in a new space in terms of our business and in terms of what we offer to the world.
And I'm so excited to see exactly what you offer, because, we want to send people your way.
Awesome.
So, sorry, tell me something. I know that we're going to talk currently on what you're working through. I'm just very interested in where you came from, to see how you got here.
So I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher, pre-primary teacher, loved little people. I often say that I'm a child whisperer, because I help adults, like full-grown humans, to interpret small humans' behavior, because it's a skill, right? And it's something that I studied for. It's something that I know that I'm really good at. And as teachers, we learn about children and education and pedagogy. As parents, you give birth to human beings, and there is no manual. And so I love to help parents. As an aside, I love to help parents understand.
That's honestly, there's something that I often say to my husband, and it's that people should take assessments on whether they can be parents or not, because it's such a scary journey to walk without being educated.
And listen, adulting is hard.
Yeah.
And then you throw children into the mix, and it's such a blessing, and it's such hard work.
Yeah.
So just I don't want to take too much time, but teaching, school leadership, I really feel like I added a lot of value. I loved my job. I was really good at it. We had 250 little boys between the ages of 5 and 9.
Sure.
So between them and their parents and the staff and the peripatetic staff, like I was living my best life. We were living on the property of the school where I worked. So it wasn't only my professional identity, it was my personal space.
Your whole identity.
My whole world.
And Garreth was doing at the time, was the hockey, the high performance. Okay.
Absolutely, and I'll Garreth will tell you.
Yeah,
about
we'll hear all about that.
his experience.
I feel like we sort of have a celebrity.
No, you totally do.
No, I told people today that we've got very special guests. Yeah, not just, but also I just want to jump in there that Mandy has personally helped me with my journey, with my personal journey, but also with being a parent. And I have this little gorgeous 18-month-old that I had postpartum anxiety and I struggled. And through Mandy's coaching, helping myself, I helped my daughter.
So we highly recommend.
Yeah, we do ours. Okay.
So I feel like I honestly had outgrown the role, and I wasn't ready to go and now be a principal at another school. I needed something different. And so that's, as I said, came across coaching and decided to give it a go. How about you? Why are you sitting here?
As you said, trying to get the mic back from her is the hardest part.
I can just see she's pulling it away as you're trying to grab it.
I know, you'll get used to it. I worked in sport my whole life, and it was part of a personal goal, and that became a career. Was that deliberate? Not to begin with, but around the age of 30, I said, this is what I want to do, and I pursued that for another 18 years from that point.
Sure.
So it was actually 30 years of coaching as a career, and it culminated in the Olympics in Tokyo in 2021. Obviously, it was the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, but it was in 2021.
Wow.
Right. Okay.
Which was a whole journey in itself, and it included 5 World Cups and 163 total internationals at senior level, which sounds like a lot, but it actually isn't. There are people out there with way over 400, but that was where my career had taken me. And the question I started to ask myself is, what do I want to do with these skills that I have? I was seeing a finish line to my sport career, and it was, how can I take these skills that I have of helping people be successful in a very isolated space, in a narrow space, to then broaden that, take it into the corporate and the life world, and see if the skills can be transferred. So I went through coaching. I think it started, a lot of people end up in coaching because they've been coached. And I got some coaching, and that led to certification, and that led to a commitment at the beginning of 2023 to make this my career.
A question that's popping into my head, which never thought of before, reflecting on what you're saying, it's quite amazing because I'm very fortunate with my husband and I. We started a company in 2022. And what I find is when I get into that space of like feeling blech or like feeling stuck, it's interesting. I watch a lot of sports movies. I like to read a lot of sports biographies. And would you happen to know, like, what is it about that space that connects a lot with the corporate world?
So we always use the analogy that in the corporate space you train for 10% of the time and you compete for 90% of the time, whereas in sport you train for 90+% of the time and you compete for less than 10%. And I think it's the inspirational piece around slogging away and plugging away and being consistent and being deliberate, and then you get this really exciting thing at the end, which resonates with people in the corporate who kind of are in the grind more often than not. And that inspiration piece, seeing people like at a level where you work out the percentages of people who've gone to the Olympics as an athlete in terms of the global population, it's a micro percentage. most people are never going to get there. And it's what you see on TV, it's what you read in the books. It's just so inspiring and so exciting that it resonates. And there's so much storytelling behind it. Easy lessons, easy examples that people just follow. And it gets them excited and they want to listen and they want to imagine themselves in that space. But what for me is important is that actually they are in that space. If you're a CEO, you're running a successful company, you are in that micro percentage as well. But it's just that much harder to see it for yourself.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sure, wow. That was so clear.
I have a question for Garreth and something that I would love your listeners to
Please, yes.
is
This is where you get to show him off.
yes, is that what you see on TV, what you see when the Olympic, when the opening ceremony happens and it's all the glory and the photographs and the athletes have got these 5 rings tattooed on their bodies. What don't you see?
This is the hidden advantage of an athlete, which you then can take into the rest of your life, into the corporate world. A lot of it is very boring, very repetitive, frequently painful, and to find the motivation to do that stuff over and over and over again for years is what separates the athletes that really make it from the ones that just enjoy competing. Because it's tough to train and it's tough to develop and it's tough to take on the feedback and do that stuff. Remember what I said, the small percentage of time that you actually spend competing, that's the fun stuff. But to buy yourself that fun stuff, you're investing in all of this. Now think of that in business terms and think of that in work terms. You're doing stuff over and over again. Mark Manson talks about this all the time. It's like doing stuff that sucks over and over again. That's actually the key to success. Being able to do it when you don't want to, being able to do it when it's not fun. Think about work. That's what work often ends up being, for those rewards that you ultimately get if you can stay consistent.
It's something that I had to learn a long time ago, which is that consistency is boring. It's like the most boring thing you can do. You really are just doing the exact same thing over and over again, and you might tweak it slightly, maybe once in a while, and honestly, the tweak is worse than it was before. You're like, I really don't want to, as an example, when you're working out and you have to, lift a heavier weight than you were, it's scary. You're like, I don't want to do this. I'm used to what I'm doing, and so it's fascinating to hear.
Something else that I think is really important for your listeners to hear is Garreth's journey with his mental health. Because that's something else that you don't see. And so if you're willing.
And I think the thing that we really, really are trying to bring across is the fact that the masculine energy also have feelings and go through things and are always told to dull down, be a man. And the truth is, I love the face you're making. The truth is we're all human. And another thing that we actually once spoke about was that more and more these days, because there's so much feminism, and I'm not going to speak out against that or anything like that, but because women are, it's so woman charged, we start treating the males as though they're dysfunctional women. And it's a thing I'm just noticing more and more. So please.
Yeah, thanks. It's a talk Mandy and I have actually done together more than once, and it's a story we believe is worth telling. In my own small way, in my narrow niche of performance, things looked very good from the outside. The team was doing well. We presented a good image. I presented a good image. But behind the scenes, over a period of years, eventually it was a struggle, and I was eventually just hanging on by my fingernails. And there was a point where I was in the psychologist's office for Team South Africa more than any player, because I wasn't getting by. and I had run out of resources to look after myself.
Mm.
Part of the reason for that being I was giving them to somebody else. I was giving them to all these other people and protecting them from the admin, protecting them from the stress, taking it on myself. But eventually I ran out of space.
So all that like emotional energy, you didn't realize you were giving over to your players who are like a bit like your children, and then coming, like you're that parent at the end of the day coming home from a hectic day at work, and then you have to have that energy for your child, and that is yourself. That's your inner self. What in the sports? Because this is I guess a place and a position that I've never.
Foreign.
It's foreign. It's something new. What can you give us an example of? Like what was that space? What was it like that? How come? Like you were getting what is it from a sports like coach that you're just starting to feel like burnout?
It was there for longer than I was willing to admit, because in 2021, a week after coming back from the Tokyo Olympics, Mandy, we were lying in bed and Mandy said, "I think you need to go and speak to someone." And I said, "No, I don't. I'll be fine. I just need a rest." But the rest didn't come because I'd lost the ability to rest. Because when you lose sight of yourself, within all of the priorities and all of the stress that whether it's real or not, it's become your way of life.
Wow.
You lose sight of your coping mechanisms. You stop trying to cope. You just start trying to survive. And if you're in survival, you're not recovering, you're not resting, you're not recharging. And 2 years later, at 3 o'clock in the morning, in Malaysia, I sent a letter of resignation to the federation to say, I hereby resign, I can't do this anymore. And that was the day before the last day of the tournament, 10 weeks out from the World Cup. So now on top of all of that, I had this beating myself up of, I've failed. But it was because I didn't have the awareness anymore. For me, part of mental health, and this is my definition of mental health in Martin Tiedeman's textbook, is you lose sight of yourself.
Yeah.
You lose consciousness of self.
Yeah.
I was so focused on the team and making the team do well and making sure I supported them that I forgot to look after myself. You can also imagine what that did to our relationship, because I was now lying at home in bed just trying to retreat and ultimately also fantasizing about harming myself and not communicating because I lost the ability to do so. And all of this became this massive idea of, okay, what's going to happen now? And if you think about our time frame, 2022, beginning of November, I'm resigning from a national team. 2023, January 2, I'm starting my own business. Now,
Wow.
It's amazing.
in one way, I think my mental health struggle was a blessing in disguise, because I was so desperate to make a change that resigning and starting my own business sounded like a good idea.
I have a question. Like you said, you felt like a failure, but wasn't there also a sense of relief? But as you said, that person had gone, you couldn't feel like that.
It sounded like to me that your security was now gone. And as much as that's liberating, it's scary.
At that stage, my stress cycle was so
Far burnt out.
going all over and over and over, and I was in complete state of retreat. So anything felt better, and I think that, trying to find the words for it, I didn't notice relief or opportunity or excitement because I couldn't. It was only 18 months later that I actually looked back and went, I've been doing really good work with people in the sports space. And then the year after that, coaching, getting myself going, doing all these things, I was almost sometimes unaware that I was doing it. And maybe that says something about me, maybe that says something about my state, that I was in a little bit of autopilot and there was enough function to come through, I don't know. But that transition for me, it only started to dawn on me when my awareness started to come back. When the meditation, and the tools and the therapy started to have its effect, and I started to come out the other side, then I could start to go, maybe I've done a good thing here. Maybe I'm moving forward, and it's taken me this long to get there.
A common thing that I found struggling with mental health is that, firstly, the struggle you have is usually the biggest strength you have at the same time. And then also going back to when you're in a really bad time, it's bad, you know it's bad, but you don't realize how bad it is until you get better. And when you do get better, when you feel an ounce of the pain that you once felt, you're like, I don't know how I lived like this all the time.
So, Racheli, what Garreth is not telling you is how many physical ailments he had over that time. And our talk that we do is called SOS, Self-Awareness Over Sabotage. And I'd love you just to highlight a few things between COVID and your foot surgery and like...
Can I bounce in there? Just thank you for sharing that journey. It's something, foreign, new, never had. That's something you've brought to the table. I don't think anyone has heard of that perspective from a coach. I haven't. Thank you.
Thank you. And I've had this conversation with some very high-performing coaches, and they've all gone through something very similar. The outside looks very different to the inside. The public looks very different to the private. The family and the people close experience it in a very different way. And what Mandy is saying is that my body was giving me signs, and I was ignoring them. Now, there were these little niggly things. Nothing was life-threatening. My COVID was bad. I had to go to hospital for 6 days, but I wasn't in the life-threatening phase of COVID. I was the only person in the hospital with COVID. Okay, I got it right at the end of everybody else getting it, when the pandemic was completely subsiding. And then my lack of resilience decided now's the time to get COVID. And there were other things going on. There were niggles in my foot that I couldn't walk for 6 months. I didn't go and get a surgery. I didn't get it fixed. And then it got so bad, I needed an operation. And then it got so bad, my doctor saw me the week before I went on that last tour. And he said, I'm recommending that you don't fly internationally.
Oh, so stressful.
And I still did.
Because you were like, I have to. I can't put myself first. I can't do that. I can't let people down. It sounds like you were holding the weight of, I don't know how many people were on your team, but their entire weight.
How many people are in a hockey team?
There are 18 players and up to 12 staff. So there's
a lot.
There's a team to look after. And my responsibility, my sense of responsibility, which I then got from language later, that I developed from the coaching space, was about looking after other people, making it about other people. And yes, I was getting the kicks of reaching high performance, and I was still high performing. I didn't drop any balls. Okay, but the toll that was taking on me was significant, and I think you see that, never mind in sport. People who are running their own businesses, people who are leading teams, are doing it at the expense of themselves a lot of the time.
Wow.
So I'm also just conscious of time, and I want to get to the parts where, so you guys have started like a organization, both because of your backgrounds, and till we get there, I just want to say it's just amazing how life is sort of orchestrated. How, Mandy, you have your background, Garreth, you have your background, and then you're going to tell us a bit more of what came together.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Mandy, I can see you got the mic there.
Thank you. I just want to say that I really believe that Gareth's message needs to be shared far and wide. And so if you're listening to this episode and you think that it might help somebody who's not okay, please share it. Because you often feel like it's just me. Like we were saying earlier, Racheli, that it's, and you're not alone. So whatever it is that you are going through right now, you are not alone. and you might not have taken a team to the Olympic Games. You might have a completely different life experience, and your story counts. So if you need to hear that today, I hope that it's landing.
I think something that I really resonated with is the fact that you don't need to be dropping balls for people to notice that something's wrong. And he's been so, you were so high performing. What I like to call it is, it's like high functioning depression. It's where you're functioning like a normal person, but you're not quite there.
So Garreth was addicted to the adrenaline of the high performing space.
Yes.
So that 10% that he spoke about, he lived for that. And the in-betweens was when he couldn't get off the couch.
But as you say, it's the addiction.
It's the addiction.
And it sounds like any addiction that we've worked with in the past.
I feel like this is crazy because I feel like I've been going into a bit of that space, because also with having a business, my husband and I, we have these days we're so excited and our adrenaline going, and then it's like, then it all like disappears, and it's like, oh my gosh, what do we do? How do we relate to one another? Thank you. I didn't realize like how much this is like hitting home. And then Mandy, what you were saying before, there's a Michael Jackson song that comes to my head of, you are not alone, I am here with you, I'll hold you in my heart, even if we're far apart. I really think that's like kind of our message of it today. I just wanted to share that.
And you know what, Mandy was one of the reasons why I got as far as I did before I needed to go and find that clinical intervention. But I'll also say that I wouldn't have gone for the clinical intervention if Mandy hadn't eventually put her foot down and said, you are going. The funny thing is I left the hockey space and then went running back in the February of 2023 to go and do a course at the World Cup that I had avoided. I ended up at that World Cup in a different capacity. Somehow flew myself to India and back, which anybody who's done that knows it's a wonderful place, but it's a hard place to travel to. I came back, and the very next morning I checked myself into a clinic, and I wouldn't have done it without Mandy. And the fact that I was so drawn back to that high performance space, I did it even again when I knew I was now in the acute phase of my mental illness.
It's fascinating. Like I'm seeing it so often that technically it's all the same thing that looks different, and it's the addiction aspect of what people are looking for: comfort, something that's familiar and something that gives them that sense of purpose for a moment, just for all the lows to come after it. And essentially what we're really talking about is that you weren't filling your cup, but filling everyone else's. And while that happens, usually our relationships close to us are the things that really take the brunt of it. And I'm just really amazed to see both of you here today. And the fact is, as soon as I met Garreth, I actually first thought, I was like, wow, this is a very self-aware, emotional guy. That's what I thought. And here now I'm hearing that you were the opposite of this. You were a man who was really trying to cover up for all the feelings you were feeling. And it just goes to show how much work you've put in. And it's amazing. And your marriage, if anything, has gotten stronger from the trials and tribulations that you've been given. So we're just so proud.
I have to say that the other favorite woman in our relationship is Gareth's therapist. I'm obsessed. And Jodie, if you're listening to this, I love you.
The other wife. Oh, it's so funny.
But yeah, I think this is where it kind of leads to, because while this was happening, we're starting a businesses. At that stage we were doing it separately.
Yeah.
And that change came, and the benefit of me going through that development phase was it gave me that language, and it became part of my healing process and processing towards that self-awareness, which I fake really well, and also that
fake really well.
that for us in our relationship has become really, really important, being able to talk to each other in those terms. It sounds clunky sometimes, especially from the outside, but it really works for us. And we'll talk a little bit about that now.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I really do feel like you're talking about a topic that every married couple is probably dealing with in some form or another. It could be either partner, but someone's going through it. Yeah, please carry on. This is amazing.
So let's tell you about Heroing. How
One
is
second.
Heroing?
Dun dun dun.
So we are exceptionally proud of Heroing. Heroing is our new business. We've registered as a PTY Limited. Our website is heroing.global if you want to check it out. And Heroing is not just a name, it's a movement. We came up with the name because my surname is Herold, and the first 4 letters of Herold is Hero, Hero.
Love that.
And Gareth's
Yeah.
surname is Garreth Ewing, Ewing. And so when you take hero and ing and put it together, you get
Heroing.
And we believe that you are your own hero.
Wow, she's looking at me and I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Because often we look outside ourselves.
Yeah.
We say, oh, when I get this promotion.
Who's going to save me?
When I make more money, when I get a new car, when I'm in a new relationship, whatever it is for you, when I do, then I will be successful. And our whole message and our coaching philosophy is that you have everything inside you that you need to be successful. You've just believed your stories, and it's about taking away all the fluff, listening to that voice inside you that says, I'm enough.
I think you should say that again.
That voice inside you that says, you're enough.
That's
Tell us
beautiful.
about how you see heroing.
So again, it's obviously not a real word. Is it a portmanteau? Is that the right thing when you put 2 words together?
You
I don't
are
know.
asking the wrong people.
We'll have to check if I'm wrong. It sounds like a verb. It sounds like action. So coaching is 1 foot in the present and 1 foot in the future. It's not what happened in the past. Yes, those things are important. They shape your thoughts, but what are you doing today that's going to take you forward into the future? It's a forward-facing thing. It's an action-based thing. Coaching needs to lead to action. Otherwise, it just becomes rumination.
But isn't it like, so we are products of the past, but in the sense of like, the past is like part of who we are, and then we look into get tools that coaching helps us through those tools, because you can't help that. Now, help me out here.
Are you saying that the past is it molded who we were at a time, and
Yeah.
now we're moving forward by picking up skills that we didn't know back then to change
So
our
like,
outcome?
Kind of like a muscle, like when you starting to work out and you didn't know that going on the treadmill on incline, and the more you go up, the more stamina, let's say, you can build. Now you know that. Am I making sense? Is that,
Yeah, you're making sense.
I'm trying to figure this out.
You are making sense.
Yeah.
The past can't be changed.
Right.
The actions in the present will shape what the future looks like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm
So-
following. Yeah.
That
So
was
you're on-
very well put.
So you're on the right track there.
Uh-huh.
No, we must acknowledge our past, acknowledge what's led to where we are today, and make sure that doesn't become the story that we use to define what happens next.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That is great. That is because a lot of us, like this is my background, this is my parents, this is my nurture, and like this is who I am. But then no, it doesn't have to define me. I can now choose. No, like as you said, like it's actually connecting to that beautiful inner person. That's what it's about, to my understanding. Like,
Absolutely. And a big part of our coaching and facilitation business is helping people to be more self-aware. Because of the 8 billion people on the planet, the research tells us that only 10 to 15% of people are really self-aware. And when you think about it, that makes sense. Because like even in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like there's so many layers that need to be fulfilled, from basic shelter and nourishment to all the way up to self-actualization, like consciousness is a privilege. When you can't put food on the table, you're not going to necessarily be aware of how you're showing up or what you could improve on. And so heroing is about helping you to reflect on your strengths, your emotions, how you're showing up, and then to actually say, do I like this? Because often we know what we want, we just don't know how to get there. So the accountability, the action plan, the timeline can all be helpful.
So I have a question. A lot of us prefer to live life on the surface because it's easier, it's where we're safe, it's what we like. So to that person out there who actually deeply isn't liking themselves, how can they come out themselves, and how can they meet what you're saying now?
So there's a couple of things which I think are quite important for people who are listening in to just understand that, there's psychology, there's mentoring, and there's coaching. So psychology is to do with your past and fixing you based on your past. All right, there's a clinical aspect to it. Mentoring is advice giving. Mentoring is about finding someone who knows more than you, more experienced than you, and they're going to tell you what you should do. Coaching is creating a space where you interrogate what you can do. So it's taking yourself, and the coach's job is to create that space for yourself, to listen and to process, to ask the right questions, to challenge, but ultimately help you slow down and really reflect on where you are. If you're saying, how do I like myself more? The question is, what is it about yourself that you don't like? What has led to this situation? What story are you telling yourself? How do you challenge and engage with yourself on that?
Because living in the present is, I'd say it's like a real exercise. It's a lot harder than we think. Like when I first heard that, like saying, oh, you got to live in the present, I'm like, well, I'm living in the present.
What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean? So I don't know if you can help me out, which I'm sure will help also lots of other people, is what is happening to that space? Like when you are living in the present, I do find I'm a lot more mindful, and I can be me, and the world just seems connected. Like what is it?
I'm going to answer your question with something that I often use with my clients and in the group coaching space, and that's breath work. So that deep breath that I took, Tova, when you were speaking, this present moment, this is all we've got. And often we go backwards, like I could have, should have, would have done something in the past, or often we go forward from an anxiety perspective and try to anticipate what's going to happen. And actually living in the present, this is all we've got. And it's not a dress rehearsal, so this is it. So that breath is a reminder. You can't breathe for yesterday, you can't breathe for tomorrow or next week Tuesday. This is all we've got.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone refer to the present as not a dress rehearsal. It's something that really hit hard. I was like, what? What?
Because as we were saying before we came on the recording, there's horizon living. So now it's Wednesday today, the day that we're doing this recording, and most people that are just on Groundhog Day are going, I just want to get to Friday, just want to get to Friday, just need to get to the weekend. And then what happens? You get to the weekend,
It's gone.
or you say, I just, like for teachers, I just want to get through to the end of term, I just want to get through the set of reports, I just want to get through the school play or the athletics day, or whatever it is.
It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's actually really sad.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's a concept that like you don't realize, but we're all living this way.
Totally.
If we're not conscious, I mean.
And if you say, for example, you're going to upgrade your phone. So you've been working with a phone that might be glitchy, the battery might be not lasting, it might not have enough storage, whatever. Then you get a new phone. How long does that novelty last? A day? 2 days? And then you're on to the next thing. And so coaching helps us just to take stock of where you are. What are small things that you could do every day to help you feel more successful?
Anyone listening, please join me because I want to do this. Like seriously want to do this.
So what's harrowing? I know you're still like figuring it out, but what's your main mission?
Our main mission is to become billionaires eventually.
The realism here.
Is this what we're going to title?
Amen. Please, can you put me on your spoil list?
No, but in all seriousness, our business is about helping people be the best versions of themselves. Okay, and that's helping them create the tools, create the space to be able to do that. We think, and exactly what you actually mentioned, is that those daily actions, those things we do consistently, the bits that maybe don't feel like a lot, but they compound over time.
Yeah.
The 90% we spend training for the 10% that is competition. It's helping people have language to talk about those moments and also talk about themselves as successful people. And some of our tools help with that. And it's just about helping people live intentionally and with awareness.
It sounds very similar. I don't know if you've read the book Atomic Habits. Oh, you're nodding. So, I mean, it just sounds very similar to the concept.
Yeah, it's consistency over intensity. And this is hard to do on our own. Like, we all know what we need to do. We all know that if you're at a restaurant, it's probably a better idea to order a chicken salad rather than a burger and chips. And yet, you know, there's something really fun about doing, you know, about eating junk food. Exactly. And so something that I've been doing recently is I really struggled with the consistency around going to the gym. And I kind of needed a personal trainer to tell me what to do when I got there. So I've been working with darling Pam twice a week, and it's really changed my relationship with exercise, with my body, with feeling stronger. So for you as the listener today, if you're struggling to do this on your own, you're also not alone. And that's where a coach can be incredibly helpful, and a community.
Something that's popping into my head is that, like, do you find it's becoming the concept of when I become and that waiting, is it because of the nature of technology has made us like think faster, want to be that beautiful woman or that model on social media within a day? Like how do we come? Are we coming back, or this is a new space and a new challenge where we have to, like, coaching is so essential now because we need to become more present, because we're chasing after things that like are just so like you actually can't come. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah.
The role of social media and the role of this on-demand culture that we live in, you don't need to leave your door anymore. You don't need to engage with people. You can do it all at home. And there are advantages to that, and there are huge disadvantages because you stop moving, you stop thinking, you stop speaking. And it's this idea that what you're looking at isn't actually real. It's feeding comparison, it's feeding negativity. Instead of being able to judge ourselves on our own merits, we're judging ourselves on other people who don't even exist. They're cultivating that image. And that becomes hard, and it goes back to that awareness piece. What are we noticing about ourselves? What are we referring ourselves to? And that is an interesting process. And again, it's how do we come back to reality? How do we come back to self-awareness? And coaching has a big part to play in that, simply by opening the space and letting people talk and talk about themselves.
Right.
It's crazy because a very cool thing that I did over the December holidays was that I had a phone detox. When I say phone detox, it wasn't like full stop, no phone. It was, I went on it in the morning and I went on it at night, and that was the only time I went on it. I was like unreachable all the other times. And my whole mindset changed. And I was so sad to come back and have to work with my phone. It was so hard. And that's the hardest part. There are certain things that we must live with, you know. The hardest thing for people is the food addiction, a binge eating thing. You know, with alcohol, you don't need alcohol to live, right? I mean, you wean off it and everything, but food you need it in your life. So you can't fully cut it out. So how do you do it, right? And this is what you're essentially talking about. We have to learn to live with this in the best way, as well as let's put it down now and let's talk to our coach, because we need to do some reflecting.
That reflection piece is really important. So often in a coaching conversation, we ask powerful questions and the coachee will be talking, and then we'll say something like, well, what's coming up for you? Or what are you hearing yourself say? And so it's the slowing down. Our clients are paying us for our regulated nervous systems and letting them see actually the hero is right there within them. That sounds really cheesy, and I know that
We love it. It's okay. It's okay. We don't mind cheesy.
I said to a group of moms the other day, like, well, I had a few friends over at my house, and they were there with their kids, and it was one of those moments that this kid was whining, that kid was crying, and I was like, hold on, everyone, stop for a moment. Us moms are the heroes here. We're the superheroes. We're the Marvels, trying to help these little humans. And it's like a real, like, you have to empower yourself. You have to bring yourself up. Yeah, Garreth, you're gonna.
There's a word I've been using a lot in workshops and coaching sessions, and it's intentionality. So what are you doing deliberately? What are you saying to yourself deliberately to be aware of what's going on around you? Be aware of what you are. What are you doing to the space you're in? And the coaching space, whether we're working with a large group or we're working with one-on-one, is just bringing it back to the person and say, what can you do? What are you doing? What are you thinking? So that you notice these things, and then it feeds your intentional actions towards success.
Wow, sure, hey. We are very blown away by everything, by your journey. Thank you, each of Mandy and Garreth, for sharing your journeys and where it led up to this awesome new recipe.
New company
coming together. Or has come together, and we obviously, when we post and advertise this podcast, we're going to put all your details and how people can reach you, because I'm sure it'll be very beneficial.
Would that actually be, before we end, I would actually love if you briefly, you don't need to explain long, but sort of run us through what it would be like to join
Herold.
your,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question, and the process will be a little bit different for everybody involved. But essentially, we like to lead with a strengths assessment, which is about Clifton Strengths, helping you describe yourself at your best. It's a quick assessment. It gives us some language to begin the process. If we're working with a team, we'll work with a larger workshop to begin with, to create some space for dialogue and tools introduced into the equation, and then breaking out into smaller group sessions or one-on-one sessions. If you're coming and you want to work with us as an individual or as a senior leader, go straight into the one-on-one after the strengths assessment, and then the journey begins.
wow, I can't wait. I can't wait.
You'll see on our website is that we've got Heroing Solo, which is the one-on-one coaching, Heroing Duo, because we also work with couples and we run retreats as well. Couples as in either romantic couples or business partnerships. We then also have Heroing Together, which is Heroing Together, which is my group coaching space, which is the 90-day reset from grounded to centered, and we've got some dates coming up for that. And then Heroing Enterprise, which is corporates. So we've got space for everybody if you are ready to do the work. This is not like a salon, it's not like a sorbet, it's more like a gym, because we help you to do the work.
I don't know how to take a chill pill, so I'm with you. I'm so excited for this. This is amazing. Thank you so much, both of you, for your time and your energy, and thank you for making a space for people to be able to actually help themselves. I think So often people will take credit for other people's work when it really all comes down to a single individual deciding that I have to change. So thank you. Before we end, we always like to say one thing that we're grateful for, just because we want to put some good vibes into the world and realize how far we've come. So if you wouldn't mind, do you want to kick us off, Mandy?
I want to say that I'm grateful for Tova and everything that I'm learning from you and continue to learn from you. You're an incredible human.
She's making eyes like, what are you talking about?
No, but she's my coach. Wait, hold on, there's some confusion.
She learns from you too.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for who you are and how you've shown up for yourself and what I'm learning about myself from you.
Wow.
Speechless.
I am so in agreement. Tova is amazing.
I'm grateful for two things, actually, if you don't mind.
Oh, please.
I'm very grateful for Mandy, for the life that we are building that now includes a business and includes a partnership in every sense of the word. And I'm also grateful for opportunities like this to sit and have a conversation around a kitchen table. And hopefully it is something that lands with people, and even if it makes a difference to just one person, that will be good enough.
Amen. We are so grateful as well.
So I'm also, today I'm feeling super, super grateful to have, firstly, my amazing co-host. This journey is unbelievable. And to be able together to host these two amazing, special couple who have been on a wild journey.
Yeah, are they two people or just one?
And I just want to also say, just very inspirational. Like, you've both had two different careers, and then like the bravery to start something new is mind blowing and just exceptional. So I just want to give you like a blessing as well. Like, just may just continue to be successful and inspiring, and because so many of us out there need it. And on a personal level, I'm just grateful because I went to the doctor today and my bloods are looking good, and it looks like I'm clear of cancer, of my tumours. So I'm just feeling, super, I think, grateful for life. Thank you so much.
I'm grateful for that news, firstly. Just want to say that is literally the best thing I could have heard today. That's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for Tova. Always, we bounce so well off each other, and it's just such a special dynamic. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity that always comes around. And I just feel like we were meant to connect with people that we never would have connected with, just because we hopefully build the courage to be able to work on ourselves and really look at ourselves in the mirror. It's actually something that I'm constantly working on, which is I've written a book on mental health, and it's called The Power of Reflection. Oh, wow. And the reason it's called The Power of Reflection is because when I stopped pointing my finger at everyone else in the world and started looking at myself and realizing you got some, you got some stuff to do, you know? So I'm really grateful also at this time in my life. The fact that your story, Garreth, really resonated with me, because where you were at with the burnout is where I'm at right now in my life. And I really do have to properly look at my situation and understand what I have to change. So you both came at the right time. Thank you. And I'm so, so grateful to both of you and for your time and your energy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And a huge thank you to our listeners. Please click, like, love,
subscribe,
and we'll definitely send the link to the Harrowing website. And we're so
please
excited.
join with me, guys. This sounds life-changing.
So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone, wherever you are. We hope you're having a wonderful day. Cheers. Bye.